She has no phone reception, but she does have photo of the two kids. The 6-year-old is the girl, I believe, and she's wearing pink. The 4-year-old is wearing some blue dinosaur boots. So, yeah, I think that's all we kind of have right now. The drone operator is still on scene with the mom, so.
Just make sure mom stays close to the house there in case they happen to sneak out and get back into the house.
So we've got this troubling case out of Nova Scotia, and I was up all hours of the night doing research and just trying to dig through today all this dispatch audio, hours and hours and hours worth of dispatch audio out of Canada. It's regarding the two missing children, Lily and Jack Sullivan. I've heard some pretty interesting things over the dispatch from Friday, May 2nd. That's the day that the children were reported missing. So I wanted to dig and dig and dig and see what I could find. So far, the most interesting thing is that one of the authorities is telling another, the dispatcher is saying, make sure the mom stays close to the house.
Just make sure mom stays close to the house there in case they happen to sneak out and get back into the house.
Make sure the mom stays close to the house, and that's exactly what did not happen, and I'm wondering why. So, Lily and Jack Sullivan were last seen on Friday, May 2nd, 2025, so it's been 6 days. Today is Wednesday, May 7th, and that's kind of scary to think about. Young children being missing this long. So now they're trying to put the pieces together on Friday morning. I've heard so many conflicting reports. As you'll hear, or you might have just heard, one dispatcher is saying they were last seen at 8 a.m.
In the bedroom, we had called this morning, and they haven't been seen since then. I need to get a good statement and figure stuff out. Corporal McGinnis, can you copy there? I think your corporal's spotty. Was that you I heard on here that was going to do a search of the residence again?
Audio.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. They were going to do the property and the residence again.
Copy that.
Property and the residence again. Copy, and just for everyone's awareness, based on the profile, the children could have traveled at least 6 kilometers, so keep that in mind.
Sergeant Young, for your awareness there, media release has been put out and a non-intrusive alert has been sent out to Pictou County.
Perfect, thank you.
At 8 o'clock a.m. that morning, I've heard that reported twice throughout this dispatch, Friday, May 2nd, but then trying to piece together other reports claim the children were last seen at 10 a.m. I don't know where the confusion is coming in, but this happened at the home of these two people you're about to meet. You're going to see their interviews, the mom and the stepdad, who really isn't a stepdad. The mom calls him her partner.
Just staying as hopeful as possible. I want them home. I want to hold them. And I want them home. Hopeful as possible. I want them home. I want to hold them. And I want them home. What happened was we woke up, I heard them playing in the next room beside us, and I was drifting in and out of sleep, and they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them, and they happen to just get out that sliding door, and we can't hear it when it opens, and they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time, and the next thing we knew, it was quiet, and we get up and I tell him, my partner Daniel, I tell him, do you hear the kids? And he says no, and we get up instantly. We're looking outside, we're looking everywhere, yelling for them, and I instantly just call 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call. They're both really go-lucky children. They're so sweet. They talk to anyone. They'll talk your ear off. They will speak to anyone in a store. Everyone. They're just extremely sweet kids. I appreciate the huge search effort going on right now, but we've been pushing for an Amber Alert, which hasn't been issued. Not just that they could possibly be abducted, which it is a possibility that they could have been, but just an alert to let everyone know that they are missing. We had people text me saying that they weren't aware someone else let them know that they were missing, and it would just be nice if everyone could be alerted. We thought maybe that we found tracks, but it's still uncertain. It's been raining and they're probably soaking wet, but with the sun today, I'm hopeful that they are feeling warm. We're all filled with pain and sorrow because we just want them found. We want them home. Everyone loves them. They are definitely verbal, and they do have possible autism, but it's not extreme autism. It's just they have issues with school, and they don't catch up with the other kids. I just want to remain hopeful. But there's always, in a mother's mind, you're always thinking the worst. Last night was one of the worst nights because I didn't have them in their beds. And I don't want to go through that another night without them.
So unfortunately, this case is reminding some people of a Jennifer Soto, Stephen Stearns type of situation. It's happening in a place called Lansdowne in Nova Scotia. You can hear from the dispatch, I tried to just pick out the most interesting parts related to the case, when they learned the children were missing, how the search began, what conflicting reports are coming out. Over dispatch, you hear someone saying she has no phone reception, but she does have a photo of the two kids. I don't know if they're speaking about the mother at this point. The mother of the two missing children, Lily and Jack Sullivan, her name is Malehya Brooks-Murray, and her partner, or the guy they're calling the stepdad, is Daniel Martin. They've both given interviews. It seems like Daniel has given more than Malehya has, but I've been searching and searching. I don't know if they're talking about Malehya not having phone reception. Supposedly she was the one who called 911, so I'm assuming she would have reception, but there's this Facebook group I've been following, and I put all my sources below, so many Canadian publications, and some people are saying the dad said he went searching first before 911 was called. There's a lot of inconsistencies people are picking up on.
I know they took their boots. That's pink boots for Lily, blue boots for Jack, with dinosaurs on them. Lily had her backpack with white, and it was white with strawberries on it. I imagine now if they're in the woods, that'd be probably brown, but I don't see them carrying their backpack. I don't see them keeping a pull-up one for that long after it got soaked from the very first day. We only found the two boot tracks outside of the house.
Whereabouts?
Right beside the house, probably 10 feet away from the backyard.
In the backyard, okay.
Nothing new, other than the helicopters are still in the air, and they had dogs. They took around the dogs today, and they had, as of last night, they had 8 more drones going up with infrared. I urge the public to come out if you have anything, come out as fast as possible and get it to any detachment or any police service that you have available to get to talk to. And Jack just absolutely loves bugs, dinosaurs, and anything like that. But Lily loves girly things, but she also loves doing everything with Jack. Bugs, they're like best friends, not just brother and sister.
Anyway, over the dispatch, we hear them saying, the 6-year-old is the girl, I believe. She's wearing pink. The 4-year-old, who is the boy, Jack, he's wearing blue dinosaur boots. That's all that official had at that point. Later, more details would come out, like the girl allegedly wearing her backpack. And I don't know where the 8 a.m. came from, because during the mom's interview, she spoke about waking up, drifting in and out of sleep. The kids were playing, like right in the room next door or something. And then she says she knows somehow, I don't know if they have Ring cameras or something, I don't know how she knew this knowledge, but she said the children opened the sliding glass door, and this sliding glass door, they can't hear it, and she's drifting in and out of sleep. And then the children, I guess, must have closed that sliding glass door, and they were out there playing. Now you will see in some of these reports there's like a lean-to type of wood structure. I know Daniel at some point somewhere talks about cabins, and you'll hear in the dispatch coming up where they've searched cabins, they've done a thorough search, and it's very scary that 6 days later a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old have not been found. Allegedly, there was a possible boot print or something found, but nothing came of it. From Canada, police did update the public today. Today is Wednesday, May 7th, and they said, yeah, basically nothing came of that boot print. Daniel did mention that in his interview, as if certain boot prints from the kids facing the road were found, but these parents insist, as they say in the dispatch too, the children would not go and cross the road in front of their home. There's this home, it's on Garlock Road, and it's really dense. I mean, it's beautiful out there, lots of trees, but it's like a lot of slopes, a lot of dangerous terrain. And to imagine 2 children wandering around such terrain, you'll hear in the dispatch coming up too, like one of the rescuers or one of the searchers had extreme muscle cramps. And maybe that's the person they talked about being carried out of the woods today when they talked about it in the presser. I will put the presser at the end for you in case you haven't seen it.
No idea. I had no idea. I'm still searching every day. I'm waiting for information. I have to let them do a lot of their stuff with the aircrafts and everything else, and dogs and searchers. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be coordinated, and I can't just go running through the woods. I want to, but I just can't right now because the searchers are so far out.
But okay, this stepdad partner, Daniel Martell, mom, Malehya Brooks-Murray. Again, I found it so ironic that one dispatcher said, make sure mom stays close to the house. Just make sure mom stays close to the house there in case they happen to sneak up and get back into the house. Now, this is early during the search, during those early moments, during those early hours where perhaps authorities are used to kids just kind of getting out, wandering around, and being found a couple of hours later. So it was great advice. While the searchers are out doing their thing, and the dad and the stepdad partner, her partner is allegedly out searching.
The last few days have been very stressful. I mean, ever since the Friday morning when we noticed that the children were gone. Immediately jumped in the vehicle, surveyed all the areas, many dirt roads, many culverts as I could, and waited for the police to get there.
It was good for this dispatcher to advise, make sure mom stays close to the house. You know, someone has to be there in case, you know, she sees her little ones wandering and she can beckon for them to come to her. Well, this mom left the next day, Saturday, May 3rd. There's a whole lot of drama going on. She left to go to another location. I believe she has a young baby. Her partner has other children. They obviously got into some sort of kerfluffle. There was an incident, apparently Saturday, May 3rd. I even went through a lot of dispatch trying to figure out what happened with this incident. Thus far, on Saturday, I haven't found anything about what the argument was, what the fight was, whatever happened between this couple that caused the woman to skedaddle, to leave her home while her young children are still missing. Daniel's even going to talk about getting interviewed by police. He's going to talk about Malehya blocking him on social media. And so people are like, what is happening during this missing children's case? You would expect the mom and stepdad or her partner to just draw closer together, not farther apart. Some people were wondering, are the police going to announce the arrest of these two? But they didn't. It was a sad, sad presser. But during this search, there have been a lot of different rumors. You know, everyone turns into a sleuth. Of course, everyone wants to help. There was some rumor about, some foreign men were seen, 2 men, and I guess that's been debunked. And now, even in the dispatch audio, the dispatcher explains a 911 call she received. Someone saw a suspicious vehicle, but it turned out to be nothing suspicious after all.
Okay, so otherwise, what are the details? Have they been gone a long time?
0800. The address, the last point known.
Member is here on Garlock Road. We just had a 911 call. Can I go ahead with the details?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we had a call via 911 from a Karen Ponacao. Time delay about 5 minutes. She was reporting just driving past a black Honda CRV Nova Scotia marker Golf Mike Fox 320 that left the outdoor recreational park close to the residence. It is permanently closed. Malehya is unsure if related, but it felt a bit strange to her. Driver was a white male around 50 years old, bald with a mustache. And it left from 1480 Garlock Road. I can send that down to your MWS if it's easier.
So people have their eyes peeled and, they're looking at everyone with suspicion, especially because the parents are inferring potentially that the children were abducted.
We were searching. We covered everywhere possible. Even in the first day we did. Even with me running through the woods, I was ahead of the helicopters and ahead of the drones and stuff like that. Screaming as loud as I can, and just until my throat hurt. Running through water that was up to my waist. And as soon as I got back, I wasn't allowed back in the woods until a man dressed in military outfit said I could go back into the woods. I hate being wet and cold, so they immediately would have came right back into the house. The only two prints are right beside the house facing the road, and then that's it. Post any officers they can get at the New Brunswick border, PI border, and get them at every airport possible. Anybody who has any information, or you think you've seen something, or hear something, or any messages from friends about hearing something, just contact your local police services. Anything, guys, anything.
At first, they were wandering the woods. That's the thought process. But now that it's been so long, I guess it's entering the minds of Malehya and Daniel. Oh yes, they really could have been abducted. But it turns out that suspicious vehicle was nothing. So I don't know what's up with this 8 o'clock this morning. The kids were seen in their bedroom and they haven't been seen since. And my question is, how did Malehya know, the kids sneaked out, opened the sliding glass door, and then were playing outside? And I'm thinking, how did she know after the fact the children were allegedly playing outside if she was drifting in and out of sleep? She said, we found out later the children were playing outside. You could only confirm that, in my opinion, is if someone had spotted the children playing outside around 8 a.m. or 10 a.m. whenever they went missing. Do they have any Ring camera footage to prove, oh, we went back and saw that? I haven't found any evidence to say that. In fact, the authorities sound a little frustrated somewhere in this dispatch because one man says, look, they were last seen in their bedroom, last seen at this residence, the residence of Malehya and Daniel. 8 o'clock this morning, they haven't been seen since. And he's like, I need to, and the audio breaks up so bad. I mean, some of it is horrible, but he's saying, I need to get a good statement and figure this out.
In their bedroom, we had called this morning and they haven't been seen since then. I need to get a good statement and figure stuff out.
And a woman on there says, just so everyone's aware, based on the profile, the children could have traveled at least 6 kilometers. I'm like, whoa, that's quite a long way. Perhaps they could have in that terrain. Maybe the children are used to wandering those woods with their little boots on. But I'm thinking, oh my goodness, a 5K like I used to run is 3.2 miles, a 6K, even longer than that. That sounds like a lot. But today, unfortunately, they are scaling back the search. And if you kind of read between the lines, they're still working the case. Of course, they're still looking for Jack and Lily. They're not going to give up looking for them. But it's sad. The police literally said today, Wednesday, the likelihood that they're alive is very low. It's been 6 days since these young children went missing. At first, it was believed that the children were wandering into the woods, and that's what the police were told. But now I don't know if that's necessarily the case. So Lily is 6, again, Jack is only 4. It's this Garlock Road in Lansdowne Station, Pictou County. I'm trying to get the pronunciations correct. Now, all the reports are saying the children wandered away from the home just after 10 a.m. That's what the statement said from the RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. So Lily has shoulder-length hair, light brown, and she has bangs. So she could be wearing her pink sweater, pink pants, and pink boots. And according to Daniel, she, has her backpack with her. Now, of course, I understand that initial descriptions might be a little bit off, like you might notice, oh, their boots are missing, they're probably wearing their boots. Or Lily's wearing pink. And the only thing we got about Jack, well, now his hair is short and blonde. It looks like he's had a buzz cut or a cut in his most recent photos. Police say he's wearing blue dinosaur boots. No other clothing description was available at first. Like perhaps he just has a pull-up on, like Daniel spoke of. The mom spoke of, oh, I hope it's not, they hate being wet and cold, so they would have come back in. And Daniel spoke of, oh, the pull-up would have been full the first day, so I can't see them running around there. And then Jack all of a sudden may have been wearing brown pants too.
She was also carrying a white backpack with strawberries on it. Martell says although he didn't see Jack that morning, he is believed to be wearing a brown shirt, brown pants with a pull-up diaper on underneath, and blue rain boots with dinosaurs on them. He also refuted the claim that the two children are nonverbal, saying while they are on the autism spectrum, they are quite trusting and say hi to everyone. According to Martell, his side of the family are currently the only ones at ground zero after Lily and Jack's mother left the county Saturday. But still, he remains, begging anyone with answers to come forward and bring his children home safe.
So I understand initially where you might not remember what your children could be wearing. But then if you look around and you see things are missing, you're like, okay, perhaps they had that on. But I don't see how a person could be so sure. Lily's carrying her backpack. She had her backpack with her if no one saw her. Because according to Malehya, she was in and out of sleep, and then she woke up and she's like, wait, I don't hear the kids. And she asked Daniel, like, do you hear them? People are picking up on so many red flags. There's a YouTuber, I think it's titled No Truer Words, doing an analysis of these parents. It was very good. Their statements, really good. Daniel, one time he slipped into the past tense, I heard, about Lily loved playing with her brother like they were best friends and all that. I heard him slip into the past tense once, and that's scary. Now, during the presser, they did say that Major Crimes has been involved pretty much since the beginning, maybe since Saturday, since they treat all missing cases as suspicious. But of course, they wouldn't go into detail about, well, we really think something shady's going on here. After all, this is Canada. We're not going to be able to get public records like we do in the United States. Some people were already like, I can't wait to see the parents' interrogation. And they're like, what do you mean? You're not Canadian, are you? What's that about? No, I can't help it. I've been listening to so much of these beautiful accents and these beautiful people like risking so much. They're so tired looking for these children. And I think they were even looking for a kayak or two. Some of the audio just is like steps on top of each other. It's like multiple audio tracks going on at once. And that's why I try to only pull the snippets that might be a little bit relevant. But Daniel's claiming he was in his home in Lansdowne. It was early Friday morning with Malehya. They have a 16-month-old baby. So he's saying, okay, he could hear 6-year-old Lily, he could hear 4-year-old Jack on the move around their home. And I get that. I understand. You have a young baby, you're paying attention to the baby, or you're sleeping, trying to get all the sleep you can. And the other, still young kids, but they have a lot of energy. They're up early. Daniel says, as soon as I noticed that I didn't hear anything, I immediately jumped out of bed. I searched the bedrooms and looked in the backyard because they go looking for bugs and grass to feed the chickens. And when I noticed they weren't there, I jumped in my vehicle and surveyed every dirt road and culvert I could find. So that's where people got it from, saying Daniel was driving around just looking. I remember him mentioning the culverts. He's looking around. But this is the weird part. Daniel said since the disappearance of the children, their mom has left to be with her family in another part of the province and has blocked him on social media. So does that mean Malehya knows something about what Daniel did? Did Daniel do anything? Is there foul play? A lot of people, of course, are thinking foul play. And again, I'm not accusing anyone. These children could have really wandered off into the woods. They really may have been abducted. I don't know. I'm just praying for a miracle. I'm praying for a miracle in Jesus because I just hate all these cases with so many children being harmed. But Daniel says, I'm feeling terrible, just like the last few days. It's just me on my own with my family out here. I don't know why she left. Now, some people are wondering, okay, did the police advise her to leave the home? Is she flipping on Daniel and saying he's suspicious? Or are they both suspicious? Are neither one of them suspicious? What's going on? Why would this mom leave her home with her children just missing? It's strange. He's going to talk about his interrogations a little bit. Initially, that dispatcher, of course, was advising the mom, Malehya, to stay near the home. Makes sense. It's the first few hours of the search. They had no idea they'd be 6 days into this search with these children missing. But Daniel is saying that Lily and Jack would not have made it far into the woods on their own. And that's what the questions were today during the presser. Reporters were saying, look, you guys have searched so many places. Like, I've listened to a lot of dispatch. You won't know how many hours and hours I scrubbed through, pulling out the important parts. Sounds like they have helicopters up, they had drones up, they were coordinating, they were doing a grid search. I mean, someone searched so long and hard, they had extreme muscle cramps. These people are working to find these children and to not find a clue. Allegedly, there was a pink blanket found, but reportedly, the cops were told it wasn't related to these children. Even in the upcoming dispatch audio, you'll hear one searcher say, I found like an onion bag. Is this something that the kids were known to play with? So they were out there deep in those woods searching for any kind of clue. Daniel said they would have found them in the woods by now, so I'm urging the public to come forward if they have anything to say or offer. So he's kind of blaming others like, okay, if you guys know anything, let me know. I don't think they'd make it far. As soon as they get their clothes or boots wet, they immediately want to take them off and go back inside the house. Whew, scary. So I did hear the cops say they were searching cabins. They were clearing cabins. They got a tip, something about Walmart, but that turned out to be a negative. I guess the one authority was able to compare a photo of the children with, I don't know what the Walmart tip was. Someone thought they were there. And then the searcher with those extreme muscle cramps. But according to Globe and Mail, and you can hear in the audio too when Globe and Mail shows up at the scene pretty early Friday into the search. But according to that publication, more than 100 people who were assisted by helicopters, drones, tracking dogs. They have not pulled out the cadaver dogs yet. That's what we learned in the presser. Maybe that will be their next step, they said. They were scouring and searching this densely wooded swath of the province. Daniel told the Globe that police interviewed him for 4 hours at the Pictou County RCMP detachment in the town of Stellarton Tuesday night. So this was just last night. Makes sense because when children this young aren't found, there's no hide or hair of them. Nothing in the woods near that home that all these searchers could find, staying up Lord knows how many hours of the night. This is after the 5th day, so this is Tuesday night. He gets interviewed for 4 hours. They're digging and digging. So again, it's saying Lily and Jack were reported missing at 10 a.m. And their mom, Malehya, and Daniel, said they woke up, it was a silent home, and that surprised them. But Daniel said, my story has been consistent. When you tell the truth, it's always consistent. So I don't know, maybe Daniel is telling the truth. I can't sit here and throw this man under the bus. I can't throw Malehya under the bus. Stranger things have happened with children going off into the woods and being rescued alive. I don't know without researching the limit of how long a young child has survived in woods like these before, but we've heard stories, we've seen beautiful stories where a child is off in the woods for 2 or 3 days and sometimes they're with their dog or they're just protected. The Lord protected them. This story, however, people are wondering, were these children ever in the woods? Were they really ever, sneaking out the sliding glass door? Or is that just a tall tale? According to CNBC, Malehya's mother, Cindy Murray, spoke to them in a brief phone interview. She said, we're just hoping and praying for the best. That's it, for our babies to come home. And she also added, this is why it was brief, I'm sure, that police have advised the family against speaking with the public. So she's the grandmother of 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack, the mom of Malehya. As far as Daniel's interview, he says, look, police told him walk them through just step by step, all those details, whatever happened Friday, May 2nd, the day the children were reported missing and even the previous few days prior to that. They are like telling him draw maps and locations wherever the children could possibly be. We've seen investigators do this, they're like, where do you even think they could be? That when they're trying to get info out of a person, they're like, just in your mind's imagination, where could these children be? So now this was confusing too. Neither child had attended school that week since Tuesday. That's what Daniel told the Globe. He said they were kept home. They were kept home Thursday and Friday, and then Wednesday was no school. because Lily had a cough. So it was confusing. Some people were understanding it initially. They didn't go to school Friday. And then they learned, oh, they didn't go to school Thursday and Friday. But then I guess we didn't know there was no school Wednesday. So basically, apparently, allegedly, the children had gone to school that Monday and Tuesday, and then they were home Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And that leads me to believe, oh no, like, was it a powder keg? Was it like this, when kids are home? And also, the children allegedly are on the spectrum, some level of autism. I mean, there's this video of, I believe it may have been Jack's birthday. I don't know if he turned 2 or what. I was grateful someone grabbed it off of Malehya's Facebook before her Facebook was taken down, hidden, deleted, or whatever. So it looks like there's a number 2 on the cake. I believe it's a celebration of when Jack turned 2. Now the little girl screaming her head off reportedly is Lily.
I dare you.
Liam, come sing.
I got him.
Get up
Wait, my birthday.
Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Lily, stop, honey. Blow it, go.
Yay! Yay!
Yay!
Everybody's away.
Happy birthday! Say happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
So people are understanding, like with children with special needs, maybe Lily was a little bit upset at all the people singing happy birthday, or maybe she was overly excited, or whatever was going on. She just screamed and screamed, and people are looking at Daniel, and was he giving a look to Lily at all? Was he ignoring Lily to just look at Malehya like, calm your daughter down? What was the vibe there? But that leads me to believe now, knowing they had all these days off of school, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, preparing like for a 5-day weekend, basically. A child, Lily, having a cough. Did they really go missing Friday morning? Or did something happen? You know, they have an 18-month-old as well. And as I understand it, Daniel has other children. I'm not sure who. I saw his Facebook. I saw other children. It's confusing. I don't know how many children were in the home. I'm still digging into this case. But I wonder if it became this emotional thing with all these children home, with a younger baby. Did something happen? Did someone go off? That's what folks are asking. Of course, their mind is naturally wandering. I could be way off base. I wish I were. You know, I really wish by some miracle these children still were, just found some type of storage place or shed or whatever in the woods, and they were able to hunker down and still just be alive right now. I'm just hoping against hope. But again, Malehya, it says, has been staying with her mother in a nearby town since the children went missing. That's what Daniel said. He and his wife have only had sporadic contact since then. Why? Are they turning on each other? Does she suspect him of something or vice versa? What literally is happening? You don't necessarily often see this. I mean, yes, trauma, of course, trouble can just break a relationship apart. I understand that, but it's odd that she left the home so early. Is it divide and conquer? Some people are asking, like in this Facebook chat or everything groups about the case, did the police ask her to leave her home so they could be apart and they could focus on Daniel, they could focus on questioning both of them, they could focus on if their stories don't match up? I mean, again, there's a lot of language interpretation here. How many times they speak about we this and we that. Is it a rehearsed story or not? Talking to the Globe, the children's grandmother, Malehya's mom, Cindy, said, we're not discussing anything right now. The police told us not to. So, of course, Daniel's still holding out hope. Everyone's holding out hope that the children will be found safely. It's just picking up on the oddities of the situation, maybe some of the interviews, maybe some of the wording. And again, it doesn't mean that people have to be falling down crying. It's almost like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. Because The mom, I think she's pretty calm. I don't think I've seen Malehya cry in any interview I found. And of course, some people are finding that suspicious. But then Daniel, when he starts breaking down crying, like, okay, someone told me I could, go back into the woods and search again. And he starts crying. Or he's saying, I was screaming so loud until my throat was sore. When he shows emotion, people are calling that fake too. Some folks are calling that fake. So you just don't know. That's when he started talking about, I already asked to put officers at the New Brunswick border, PEI border, and get them at every single airport. Are they doing that? They said, that's not the concern right now. With Daniel saying that reminds me so much of the Summer Wells case. All these cases where, unfortunately, these children have gone missing. The parents are like, go get people at the border. Go get folks at the airport. They're going to be abducted. They're going to be taken through airports or whatever. And if the cops are saying that's not the concern right now, obviously that means they're focusing on at least Daniel with a 4-hour interrogation that maybe we'll never see. Canadians, help me out. I don't know how your FOIA or public records, or if you have anything like that, works. Is it after an arrest and after a trial? Is that information released then or never? Interrogation videos, this 4 hours that officers spent with Daniel. I just hate the hush-hush process, but I really pray the cops can find out truly what happened. If they're not concerned with, getting people at the airport, and Daniel's already hitting back and obviously slightly blaming the cops, saying, are they doing that? They said that's not the concern right now. I don't know. I can't say much now, but listen to all this dispatch audio coming up. I found a lot. I went through a lot of hours on Friday. I don't know where I stopped, around 3 p.m. almost. Maybe I'll try and listen to more, but I just pulled out snippets that sounded sort of interesting or relevant to this case. And then as far as Saturday, May 3rd, I haven't found anything yet about their dispute. I don't even know if they called 911 during this dispute, whatever happened between Malehya and Daniel on Saturday. Maybe there is no record of it, but I could search more through Saturday audio. I tried to search around the time I thought it happened, but it can be spotty, this audio. But you'll hear they're searching everywhere, on foot, in the air, with drones. They're putting out alerts. They're even talking about some trail camera in the woods. They were trying to find the owner. And it sounds like there was potentially a missing kayaker at some point in here. Maybe it was that Thursday. So the searchers were so tired. They're talking about a dive team. I don't know if they're talking about a dive team searching for these children or if it was for the missing kayaker. I don't know if that kayaker was found. A lot of these searchers were wiped. They were so tired by Friday morning because some of them had already been searching, I think, for the missing kayaker. If I'm not mistaken, some of this audio is horrible. Reception can be horrible apparently up there. But before we listen to all this audio dispatch I've pulled and then watch the presser, I'll just read 1 John 3:21 through 22. Beloved, if our heart does not convict us of guilt, we have confidence, complete assurance, and boldness before God. And we receive from Him whatever we ask, because we carefully and consistently keep His commandments and do the things that are pleasing in His sight, habitually seeking to follow His plan for us. So my ask is that God can find these children. Really do wish a miracle would happen. They're such beautiful children. Every case I see, I always say, oh my goodness, some parents would have loved you so much better and wanted you. And of course I can't go there yet because I don't know how this case is going to resolve, but just listen to all the 911 dispatch audio, the dispatchers talking amongst themselves, and then watch the presser, and then we'll just keep these children in our prayers. There's a lot of other cases I've been digging into too, but I'm just going to try and keep them in separate videos. So thanks for watching all of this. Take care. Let's pray Lily and Jack are found today.
Foster here. Just speaking with Glenn, are you able to authorize and start getting some search teams going to the airlock location while we try and locate a GSAR commander?
On 601.
10-4, I'll authorize it. I did mention to Curtis McKinnon.
I don't believe anybody that responded to that call. I heard somebody acknowledge it, but I don't think we had anybody respond. Could you reach out to Westfall Rescue to that call?
Copy. I'll call Joe right now.
Copy.
Josh is on call from Northeast, but he had a long run on this file. He needs some rest.
I'd read that call through SRCC there to get the helo headed that way.
Yeah, we just gave him the directions. That's 1407 Gairloch Road in Lansdowne.
Copy that.
Okay, you go through City and
Station 21, Rescue 21.
pilot and a spotter for Sarah will be
583 Marshall.
making their way there.
Show their own vehicle.
Community hall, anything near the area that some trucks can park at and work their way out?
Sorry, it's very rural. I don't think there's any community halls nearby. We're not super familiar with the area. We don't come out here a whole lot, but we'll have a look.
Charlie 1, go ahead.
Just wondering where they're set up with the search command today. Is that the scene on McLaren Road?
Copy that.
Center is Eden Church Loop.
Yeah, see, that's where ours is. I'm just wondering where the ground search one is.
Over there for the children.
601. You copy Rescue 21.
Missing kayaker.
Great.
10-4, it would be Garden of Eden Church Loop is where the command center is.
Yeah, it's just there. There's no one there. All right, McLaren Road.
10-4. Bravo 3, go ahead.
All right, so there is no portable reception down here. However, the cars do work. So Constable Mason's vehicle now, she's got her radio on the loud hailer, so she'll be able to hear us. She has no phone reception, but she does have photo of the two kids. The 6-year-old is the girl, I believe, and she's wearing pink. The 4-year-old is wearing some blue dinosaur boots. So, yeah, I think that's all we kind of have right now.
10-4, since radio service is not bad, do you guys want an extended timer there, a 10-6 timer? And I can give you a monitor?
Yeah, definitely. Give us 2 hours, and then ask the risk manager if he wants Constable Mason to depart there to go get some phone service to send those images or not. The drone operator is still on scene with the mom, so.
10-4.
With the service, you can get those photos to them.
So you want her to go get service to send the photos?
10-4. Sergeant Young. Go somewhere and get service and get those photos sent off.
Constable Mason, you copy?
Just to confirm, both Kilo dogs on scene there? Y'all can hear me there. Are you guys on scene?
Kilo 6 is on scene, and Kilo 9 till 17.
10-4. Thank you.
Okay, are we okay to drop down on the, looks like the east side of the road there? There's a gully system there. We just want to get down. I have just full passes there. Or are you doing orbits and crossing the road as well?
Yeah, I can stay to the. I can stay out of your area there. I'm at 270. How low are you looking to go? I can take it down too if you need.
So just for deconfliction, I'll just stay on the east side of the road. If you're going to stay on the west side of the road and work the backyards and over top of the residents. If you're not going to cross the road, we'll just drop down. There's a gully on the east side. We want to just kind of cruise the forest there.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, we'll stay on the east side for now, and we'll keep you advised when we switch back over.
Got that. Wait, or do you want me to check the other issue on mutual aid 6? Just speaking of the risk matcher, just confirming if you need the drone that was just freed up here in Colchester. We can send it to your way if you wish. It's thermal.
Yeah, that'd be great. A lot of area to cover. We're out in the sticks here. You're very familiar. The risk manager is still monitoring there? Yeah, there's a dirt road just up past the address. Search the last point known. We can put vehicles on this dirt road. There's lots of big driveways and stuff. They're fine. If there's any other calls for you for updates, that'll be our staging area, whatever road this is.
Okay, 10-4. Looks like the Matheson West Road. I'm guessing that's the one you're referring to.
Yeah, 10-4, I'm on it now. So, yeah, this is perfect.
Okay, Alpha 3, go ahead.
355, I'm going to request field communications unit to be sent out here to the 4 comms if this gets extended for a long period of time.
Member is here on Garlock Road. We just got a 911 call. Can I go ahead with the details?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we got a call via 911 from a Karen Ponacao. Kind of about 5 minutes. She was reporting just driving past a black Honda CRV, Nova Scotia marker Golf Mike Fox 320 that left the outdoor recreational park close to the residence. It is permanently closed. Complaint is unsure if related, but it felt a bit strange to her. Driver was a white male around 50 years old, bald with a mustache. And it left from 1480 Garlock Road. I can send that down to your MWS if it's easier.
Got a copy of Bravo 3, deactivate and reactivate me to this one.
10-4, just came as an update there. Do you want me to send it to your MWS?
10-4, I think you probably sent it to all of us there.
What was that address?
Looks like the address is 1480 Garlock Road.
Yeah, Dan, I'm not sure. You know, there's certainly a possibility this one will roll into tomorrow. And I think Josh Weiss is, on call. So, I wouldn't necessarily cancel any big plans that you have. So, optimistic. Maybe both the files that we have right now will get wrapped up.
Copy that. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out if I should cancel my plans or not. But yeah, just keep me posted and keep it in mind.
Yeah, we'll do. Negative at the moment here. We're just overhead the park and just still on the search pattern here. But we were just curious to know if you wanted us to kind of get eyes on that vehicle right away.
Well, quickly there, just give her a call, see if I can get a direction of travel from her, and that way, if we do need to, we'll know which way they went.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Looks like it's gated. From our vantage point, standby one.
355, is that the old KOA campground?
I'll check there. Bye-bye.
355, do you want to send that name and number for that vehicle down to Corporal Ball Short? We'll look after that here.
Definitely, thank you. Real short, I emailed that there to you. And 53 Alpha 3, 355?
Yeah, turn around, come the other way. I'm up here up this road. Right here.
Thank you up there. So Shuby was contacted. The PSFB truck is requested for comms issues. Will be sent to the staging area. Delta 3, did you copy that?
No, go ahead.
10-4, we talked to Shuby there. The PSFB truck is going to be sent to the staging area for the comms issue.
And all stations, just ordering a black SUV just north of the residence and on the left side of the road. Does not appear to be a CRV, but it is a black SUV. If anybody wants to come up and have a look at that, just under the helicopter here now, if you guys have visual of it.
Bravo 3 drove by that on my way in. That's a Kia Sportage, Delta Papa Uniform 468. I didn't run it, but there was nobody in it.
I'm right here, I'll check it.
Yeah, we copy that. There are looks like two individuals walking down towards the lake ahead of the vehicle. And there's a cabin at the end of the lake.
The vehicle comes back to a Gregory Giffen from
805, go ahead.
Yeah, we okay to cross the highway here and work the wooded area behind the residence?
10-4, I'm actually coming down for battery swap right now.
Okay, cover that. Just let us know when you want to come back airborne.
Just advising everyone on the talk group, public safety field communications are en route to that search you have there, and our ETA is about 1:05 p.m. 1305.
Number there in Garlock Road, if you can copy this there, Corporal Short contacted that complainant from that suspicious vehicle call, and everything was done for, nothing suspicious about it.
Control 4 copies.
Just make sure Mom stays close to the house there in case they happen to sneak out and get back into the house.
Search the road of our building here. We've got all of our equipment on the go, and 22 members should land on site about 1:30, a little before, hopefully.
Well, that's great. Thank you.
There is a field, kind of an open area behind the residence there. I'll just stay west of that, so I won't come any closer to the backyard for that.
Just let me know if you need to move in closer. I'll get out of the way.
Yeah, no, you guys do your thing, and we're just going to work all these heavily wooded areas out here where you guys can't reach.
Perfect.
Kilo 6, 2, large 350.
Want hair now. An onion bag. That's not nothing they play with or anything, is it? Fix back the truck, giving the dog a break. We're going to do the residence and property over again while we wait.
I just want to let you know, on last night's search, we were having problems with our TMR communications through our command trailer. I think we've got a connector or a wire with a problem. Something you might want to consider activating public field comms to come aid us in communications if that's going to be a need.
Already done. They're en route.
Excellent. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, Kilo 6 here. 2 missing children. One wearing pink. Not sure what the other one was wearing. Possibly a backpack with them. 4 years old and 8 years old.
Global News here. Looking to speak to somebody. In the bedroom, we called this morning, and they haven't been seen since then. I need to get a good statement and figure stuff out. Corporal McGinnis, can you copy there? I think your portable's spotty. Was that you I heard on here that was going to do a search of the residence again?
Audio.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. They were going to do the property and the residence again.
Copy that.
Property and the residence again. Was sent back.
Copy, and just for everyone's awareness, based on the profile, the children could have traveled at least 6 kilometers. So keep that in mind.
Sergeant Young, for your awareness there, media release has been put out and a non-intrusive alert has been sent out to Victor County.
Perfect, thank you. That's campground, that's the KOA. It's across the road, and the people down there are aware. Keep an eye out. There's also a trail cam that was found on that road from the staging area. We just trying to make contact with the owner there now to see if he had any footage.
You want to confirm you're aware you got another RPAS operator heading your way from Bible Hill? And you guys are located at 1407 Garlock Road?
10-4.
Copy, thank you. We're just clearing a cabin, one house to the right of the property when you're looking at it. I'm not sure the actual direction. Members are just clearing it now. Door was open, closed, but unlocked. Just clearing it.
Copy.
Is anybody on scene able to send me a text with photos?
Who's looking for the photos?
And it's Bob Short. I'll give you my number when you're ready.
Yeah, stand by there, Bob. The lead there, she got him on her phone. I'll go right up and see her there.
Constable Mason, copy.
Go ahead.
I think that tip at Walmart is negative, but I sent you some photos just to confirm.
I'll head back into the house now. I'll get the Wi-Fi again.
I'm not sure if you have him in APAC, but Bailey's having extreme muscle cramps. I'm going to have to leave him. Can you meet me just at the intersection of the T intersection couple hundred meters northeast of the house there, back the way I came in.
Also, McGinnis, when you started your search from your vehicle, did you go past the residence?
Yeah, I'm back closer to
10-4. Did you go down to the bottom of that long walkway with the marked signage on it, the reflection poles? Did you go down that long driveway that's gated off and has all the reflective post signs marked on the trees going down?
Drove down on the other side, down to the Florida campground. You can come up through the other side of the gated.
Hey, copy that, Joe. I'm going down there from the gated off side.
Hey, Joe, can you swing back to the house?
Should I drop off the pilot first, or you got something?
Yeah, drop him off first, let's come back. Danny just wants to chat with you.
We just got a call from a Justin Smith who lives close by to where you guys are now. He said he can talk to members about any vehicles that passed Highway 289. If you guys need to get a hold of them, I can always send this number down to you guys if needed.
Yeah, Kilo 6 here. 2 missing children. One wearing pink. I'm not sure what the other one was wearing. Possibly a backpack with them. 4 years old and 8 years old.
Global News here. Looking to speak to somebody.
Can I get an idea of what we're looking at, where we're looking?
So, the family is convinced that these children didn't cross the road from their residence. Of course, we're skeptical that we know how these searches go. But it's been a substantial amount of time. So we're looking at, originally it's a 6 kilometer, but now we're looking further out. Anyway, that's what we've got now.
Okay, so over 6 kilometers out, I see that you have 2 locations here. Which location are we talking about, starting point? At 783, so I see two locations where there's a lot of cars. Which of the 2 locations is the starting point for the missing?
1407 Scarlock Road is the last point known as residence. So we've been concentrating on the area behind the residence.
So I see 2 locations in north and south. Which one would it be?
Break, Station 83 is Control 4. I'm just facing the residence here now. So between, just off my nose, you can see the fire vehicle there with the lights on. That's the residence.
Okay, 10-4, yeah, big red truck, we got it. And from there, they're looking out. I guess the 2 would have departed from there.
Yeah, that's affirmative. So I'm essentially in the backyard here now, and sounds like they did not cross the road, but that's yet to be determined. And so yeah, we've been just pounding these hills back here.
Okay, 10-4, thanks for the heads up. And do we know if there's a drone up in the air at all or not?
Negative on the drones. Sounds like there's 4 drones on the ground. But none of the drones are in the air at the moment, and they're all monitoring Neutral 8-6 as well, and broadcasting their intentions when they're ready.
Okay, 10-4, thanks.
Yeah, right on. And yeah, I'm just going to work this area for the next little bit. Just let me know if you guys want me out of your way, and we're just going to be landing. Once we do, there's a, looks like an old park there, kind of to the south. Kind of southeast there on the other side of the road. That's where I'm going to stage out of. And then there's also a field. You'll see the comms truck up by the train tracks with this red and white strobe on in the boom. I was landing in that field as well in the back. Lots of room.
Okay, 10-4, thanks for the info. Okay, 10-4. Otherwise, what are the details? Have they been gone a long time?
0800.
Okay, this is the Casilla RPAS team. The fire department was coming in with their drone team. We are set up by the Nova Scotia Public Safety's repeater. So
My suggestion is that they could come up here, join us, look at the map, divide up our space so that the drones are not flying the same area.
This is Transport 1 taking the dog team to the start of the tasking.
So, is that okay if we like that?
Yeah, that should be okay, thank you. Good afternoon. Sorry. Good afternoon. I am Corporal Carly McCann, Provincial Public Information Officer for the Nova Scotia RCMP. Thank you all for being here today. Bonjour, je suis la caporale Carly McCann, agent d'information publique pour la GRC en Nouvelle-Écosse. Merci de votre présence aujourd'hui. First, I acknowledge that we are in Mi'kma'ki, the traditional and unceded ancestral territory of the Mi'kmaq people. I also recognize that African Nova Scotians are a distinct people whose histories, legacies, and contributions have enriched that part of Mi'kma'ki known as Nova Scotia for over 400 years. Premièrement, je reconnais que nous nous trouvons aujourd'hui à Mi'kma'ki, le territoire ancestral traditionnel et non cédé du peuple Mi'kmaq. Je reconnais également que les Néo-Écossais d'origine africaine constituent un peuple distinct dont l'histoire, l'héritage et les contributions ont enrichi la partie du Mi'kmaq connue sous le nom de la Nouvelle-Écosse depuis plus de 400 ans. At this time, I invite the following officers to the podium with me. Inspector Mike Ingalls, District Policing Officer for Northeast Nova District RCMP, Staff Sergeant Curtis McKinnon, Pictou County District Commander, Staff Sergeant Rob McCammon, Acting Officer in Charge of Major Crimes and Behavioral Sciences Group, and Amy Hansen, Search Manager with Colchester Ground Search and Rescue. Staff Sergeant Curtis McKinnon will provide you with an overview of the efforts to find Lily and Jack. He will review the search and investigation that began on Friday morning and provide the current status and next steps. We will take questions from media present following that. I invite Staff Sergeant McKinnon to the podium. J'invite maintenant le Sergent d'État McKinnon à prendre la parole. Merci.
Thank you all for being here today. First of all, our thoughts go out to the family and loved ones of Lily and Jack Sullivan, to their communities, and to everyone who's worked day and night in an effort to find the children and bring them home. Since the first 911 call was received by the RCMP, reporting that 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack had wandered away from their home on Garlick Road and Lansdowne Station, a multi-agency search has been underway. Teams have been working around the clock. This search has included many agencies, including volunteer ground search and rescue teams from across Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, the Civil Air Search and Rescue Association, known as CASERA, Department of Natural Resources Air Services, Nova Scotia Public Safety and Field Communications, Nova Scotia Guard, Joint Rescue Coordination Centre, Salvation Army, the Canada Heavy Urban Search and Rescue Task Force 5, and several RCMP units, including police dog services and drone operators. Since Saturday, because we treat all missing person files as suspicious until our investigation leads us to determine otherwise, our Major Crimes Unit has been engaged. It's been an all-hands-on-deck effort using every available resource and tool. Since the search began on May 2nd, it has been concentrated in the Garlick Road area and has covered 4 square kilometers of heavy, wooded, rural terrain. Up to 160 trained volunteer searchers, along with many others, have been involved in the search each day. Tens of thousands of search hours have been dedicated to scouring the area, and GSAR has confirmed that over 100 tracks has been laid using GPS and grid searches. Efforts to locate Lily and Jack have also included 2 vulnerable missing person alerts, posting their children's photos and information on Nova Scotia RCMP website and social media accounts. Our social accounts have more than 300,000 followers, and releasing information to local media as well as reporters across the country. Lily and Jack have made headlines from coast to coast. While the search has been ongoing, RCMP officers continued with the missing person investigation, speaking with family and community members to gather tips and other information that could help locate the children. We have not received any confirmed reports of sightings. Lily and Jack's family has been provided with regular updates on the search and on the missing person investigation. They've also been afforded supports. As of today, May 7th, the active search efforts to locate Lily and Jack will be scaled back. We're transitioning from a full-scale search to searches of more specific spaces that have already been searched by our teams. We want to circle back to increase the probability that all clues have been found. And when transitioning from an active search to a scaled-back search, the probability of survival is taken into consideration. I want to assure you that our missing persons investigation continues. We're not packing up, and we're not giving up. Our investigation is broad, and it won't end until we know where Lily and Jack are and can bring them home. We'll continue to investigate and chase leads for as long as and as hard as we have to. We have the best investigators working every aspect of the file. We continue to appeal to anyone who have information related to our investigation and who has not yet spoken to us to contact the Pictou County District RCMP at 902-485-4333 or Crime Stoppers. Before I close, I want to reiterate that our hearts go out to Lily and Jack's family, to the community, and the people who've worked so incredibly hard to date. Many of us have children of our own and have wanted nothing more than to reunite Lily and Jack with their loved ones. Thank you.
Thank you, Staff Sergeant McKinnon. I'll now provide his remarks in French. Merci à tous d'être présents aujourd'hui. Tout d'abord, nos pensées vont à la famille et les proches de Lily et Jack Sullivan, à leur communauté et à tous ceux qui ont travaillé jour et nuit pour retrouver les enfants et les ramener à la maison. Depuis le premier appel au 911 reçu par la GRC signalant que Lily, 6 ans, et Jack, 4 ans, s'étaient égarés de leur domicile sur la rue Garlock à Lansdowne Station, les recherches ont été lancées par de nombreuses agences. Les équipes ont travaillé sans relâche. Plusieurs organisations ont participé aux recherches, notamment les équipes bénévoles de recherche et de sauvetage au sol de la Nouvelle-Écosse et du Nouveau-Brunswick, l'Association civile de recherche et de sauvetage aérien, également connue sous le nom CASERA, les services aériens du ministère des Ressources naturelles, le ministère de la Sécurité publique et des communications sur le terrain de la Nouvelle-Écosse, le Centre conjoint de coordination des opérations de sauvetage, la Salvation Army, la Garde de la Nouvelle-Écosse, la Force opérationnelle 5 de recherche et de sauvetage de milieux urbains de niveau opérationnel lourd du Canada et plusieurs unités de la GRC, y compris les services cynophiles et les opérateurs des drones. Depuis samedi, parce que nous traitons tous les dossiers de personnes disparues comme suspectes jusqu'à ce que notre enquête nous amène à déterminer le contraire, notre groupe de crimes majeurs a été mobilisé. Il s'agit d'un effort collectif qui fait appel à toutes les ressources et à tous les outils disponibles. Depuis le début des recherches, le 2 mai, celles-ci se sont concentrées dans la région de la rue Garlock et ont couvert 4 km² de terrain très boisé. Jusqu'à 160 chercheurs bénévoles formés avec de nombreuses autres personnes ont participé aux recherches chaque jour. Des dizaines de milliers d'heures de recherche ont été consacrées à fouiller la zone et les responsables de recherche et de sauvetage au sol ont confirmé que plus de 100 parcours ont été effectués à l'aide des systèmes de localisation GPS et de grilles de recherche. Parmi les efforts de retrouver Lily et Jack, mentionnons aussi la diffusion de 2 alertes de personnes vulnérables disparues, la publication des photos et des renseignements sur le site web de la GRC en Nouvelle-Écosse et des réseaux sociaux, et la transmission de renseignements aux médias locaux ainsi qu'aux journalistes de l'ensemble du pays. Lily et Jack ont fait des manchettes d'une nation à l'autre. Pendant que les recherches ici se poursuivaient, les agents de la GRC ont continué avec l'enquête sur les personnes disparues, s'entraînant avec la famille et les membres de la communauté pour recueillir des renseignements et d'autres informations qui pourraient aider à localiser les enfants. Nous avons reçu aucun rapport confirmé d'observation. La famille de Lily et Jack a reçu des mises à jour régulières sur les recherches et l'enquête sur les personnes disparues. Ils ont également reçu du soutien. À compter d'aujourd'hui, le 7 mai, les efforts de recherche actifs pour trouver Lily et Jack passeront d'une recherche à grande échelle à des recherches dans les espaces plus spécifiques. des espaces qui ont déjà été fouillés par nos équipes. Nous voulons faire demi-tour pour augmenter la probabilité que tous les indices aient été trouvés. Lors de la transition à une recherche réduite, la probabilité de survie est prise en compte. Je tiens à vous assurer que notre enquête sur les personnes disparues se poursuit. Nous ne faisons pas nos valises et nous n'abandonnons pas. Notre enquête est vaste et ne s'arrêtera pas tant que nous ne saurons pas où se trouvent Jack et Lily et que nous ne les ramènerons pas à la maison. Nous continuerons à enquêter et à suivre les pistes aussi longtemps et autres intensément qu'il le faudra. Nous avons des meilleures enquêtes qui travaillent sur tous les aspects de ce dossier. Nous continuons à demander à toute personne qui ne pourrait avoir les renseignements liés à notre équipe et qui ne nous a pas encore parlé de communiquer, s'il vous plaît, avec le district de comté de Pictou de la GRC ou avec échec au crime. Avant de conclure, je tiens à rappeler que nous sommes de tout cœur avec la famille de Lily et Jack, avec la communauté et avec toutes les personnes qui ont travaillé si fort jusqu'à ce jour. Beaucoup d'entre nous ont des enfants et nous souhaitons rien d'autre que de réunir Lily et Jack avec leurs proches. Merci beaucoup. We will now proceed with the question and answer period. For the benefit of all participants, please provide your name, the outlet you represent, and to whom your question is directed. We will be limiting the question and answer period to one question and one follow-up. Nous allons maintenant procéder à la période de questions et de réponses. Nous vous demandons, s'il vous plaît, de vous limiter à une question et à un suivi. Pour le bénéfice de tous les participants, veuillez indiquer votre nom, l'organisation que vous représentez et à qui vous dirigez votre question. Donc, on va commencer à ma gauche ici, so we'll start on my left over here if someone has a question on this side. Yeah.
Here, Moran for Radio Canada. You said you're going over areas that you've already seen. What's the purpose of that? When before that you were telling us you were extending the search, and if you could say it in French and in English.
If you'd like to start in English, I'll repeat in French.
What we'll be doing is we'll be continuing on. Just because today the search is being scaled back, we still will continue on, and we will go back to areas that we feel that we may need to re-look at, and we may expand out if there's any type of information that leads us to believe that we need to do that.
So if you'd like to follow up.
How would that help you to specifically go to places that have been searched by hundreds of people, like you're saying? Like, how could that help you find new info?
Yeah, because of the terrain, there could be different types of things that we may want to try and get back in if we are able to locate anything that may come up that the searchers didn't go catch the first time. But we will do everything we can to try and find Jack and Lily. Yeah, and based on the weather, the season changes. We don't want to leave, and we're not leaving. It's just that this part of this search is being scaled back.
So, en français, on continue de faire la recherche dans les mêmes espaces qu'on a déjà visités parce qu'avec les changements de météo, les changements de saison pendant l'année, on va peut-être trouver des nouveaux indices, des nouvelles choses là qui peuvent nous aider à établir des nouveaux indices pour trouver Lily et Jack. On continue avec la recherche ici et notre but ici continue d'être de retourner Lily et Jack à leur famille et à leur maison. Yes.
I guess, you've done an incredibly exhaustive search in the area, and major crime is also here, and having not found these children, having done a very thorough search. Can you tell us, the role of major crime in this and what you can tell us about that investigation?
Rob McCammon. Robert. And MCCAMON is the last name. So major crime became involved very early in the investigation. We're able to bring in some specialized knowledge and skill sets, and we help with the information management and decision making. As we scale back, as we've identified, there are certain areas that are going to be relooked at that could contain a confined area perhaps, and maybe need some more specialized search areas. But I'll leave that to the search crews to expand on. And we're going to continue pursuing any leads or information that comes in, and the stuff that we do have. We have engaged in all areas of the RCMP. All tools that are available to us are being considered and engaged when appropriate.
Do you have a follow-up?
Yeah, as a follow-up, that I guess the general population looks at it and says, you've searched very thoroughly this area.
Mm-hmm.
You would have found them
Mm-hmm.
if they were there. Which then makes people, certainly on social media, people are assuming, rightly or wrongly, that there's a criminal element to this.
Sure.
And can you, I know, what can you tell me about that, your work on that potential?
Well, I can't really speculate on the investigation, obviously. That wouldn't be fair to the process. But we are constantly reviewing everything that's been done, looking at all different facets of available information, and we'll make decisions on that. I can't really comment on the details of that, but we will pursue every lead that becomes available and take it to where it needs to go. So.
Thank you. So is there a question? Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, Nicholas Sagan with CBC National News. You at first said it wasn't suspicious, you think the kids just wandered off. Now you're saying every missing person's investigation is considered suspicious. Is it still suspicious? Are there any suspects here?
Again, I'm not going to comment on the details of the investigation, but I will comment, when somebody goes missing and we become engaged as any police officer, not just major crime, we will look at all the details and make considerations on the information we have, right? When it comes to a missing person, we have to automatically consider are there people that have different charter implications and things like that, so we will automatically start to consider what evidence is pointing us towards a suspicious in nature. Again, I can't comment more than that, but every missing person case, we would approach it from the same process, a methodical collection and review of information with decisions based on that.
And the family has said they believe it's an abduction, or they suspect it's an abduction. Are there now any clues or anything leading you to think that might be possible?
If we had any information that led that way and we felt that we could provide anything with the public, we would have done that. We would have got that information out. We're working very closely with the family, and we will pursue every avenue. But again, I'm not going to make any specific comments, but anything that would point towards that, we would immediately take steps to address things that need to be addressed.
Blair Rhodes with CBC. I think this question is most appropriate to Staff Sergeant. You talked about survivability. I was wondering if you could address that specifically, given the ages of the two missing children and the weather conditions we've experienced this week.
Yeah, so the incident command person with the RCMP, along with the search manager, at some point have to make a decision when would it scale back this search. And a number of factors would have to take consideration, and they would, based upon scientific information that they have, to deem when that time has to come, and that is now. And a lot of those factors come into play would be the age of the missing persons, the weather, how long it's been, what area it's been covered. So at that point, they have to make a decision on that.
I hate to ask this, but given their age and the conditions, if they were still in the woods, do you think they would still be alive?
I guess it goes back to all those factors that have to come into play, right? So we are scaling back because it's time to move to a different part of the search.
First Staff Sergeant Paul Holmes from CTV. Scale back versus active search. I know yesterday there was a number at or around 140 searchers on the ground, four square kilometers, you said. Can you quantify what scaled back is? Like fewer searchers, smaller area, larger area? How does that look going forward?
Yeah, so just to go to the first point, there's been a lot of searchers here, and we can't thank them enough for being here. They've given up. A lot of them have been here since day one, and they have given up. Some have taken time off work, some have left their families behind, and we are very grateful for that. Saying that, we will look in on them and their senior managers to give us some recommendations of what else we can do. But we will take that and we will explore whatever we have and whatever we can do to check in spots that need to be checked or whatever. But at this point in time, after today, we just won't see all these searchers here.
My follow-up for the search.
Sure. Amy, if you're comfortable with that.
Thank you. I saw a person yesterday who was dressed like you, limping, being carried out. People were hot and sweaty to the staff services point, a lot of hard work. Can you talk about how rough it was in the woods? Like, it looks almost impassable. What did you see, or what did your people and your team see when you went into this wilderness?
Well, these woods, they are very thick. There's a lot of the hurricane damage from Fiona a couple years ago, and we've had teams struggling to get through areas, and I can't say anything more about the searchers. They're pushing through all of these areas, going through all of these deadfalls, going through waterways and anything possible just to cover their search areas. So we know that everything has been so thoroughly searched that it's time to, as they say, scale back, and we are exhausting people. We're starting to see more injuries coming back the last couple of days, and it's hard terrain. Amy Hansen.
And I will note as well, having had the opportunity to participate yesterday in a helicopter search as well, it is immensely clear looking from above, based on the orange tags on the trees, how thoroughly and meticulously the area has been searched, based on the indications you can see even from up in the air of how thorough the searches are. So I also give a hats off to the many searchers who have participated here in support of finding Lily and Jack. Yeah, if you'd like to go ahead.
Just with the search still continuing in the forest, is there evidence that the children are in the forest?
Very slowly.
You good?
Are radios able to pick up Staff Sergeant McLean here with this train? Or? That's it, okay. We'll
wait.
We'll wait for it to pass.
Side effect of safety, we have to slow down.
So I'll make it right back after that's Is that any better at this point with the bell passed? I'll note as well the reason that the train is passing by slowly is out of respect for the fact that Lily and Jack are missing here. So it's passing slow in order to have their staff be aware and note the ongoing missing person investigation happening in the area here. So that just does again speak to the number of people involved and aware of this search and everything that's happening in this area, and the awareness and the way that the information has spread so widely through Nova Scotia and Canada. So I think we were with your question.
Yeah, so it was just about would you guys still investigate on searching for the children in the forest? Have you found any evidence that they are in the forest?
Okay. Have we found any evidence that they are?
Yeah, so at one point there was a possible boot impression found, and I can tell you that the search and rescues then performed grid searches of that area and expanded out from that area in a meticulous fashion. They're focused and tight searches, and nothing else was found.
And did you believe that the evidence you found was from the children?
It appeared it was a possible boot print of a smaller boot print. So when we have a possibility like that, that's when we exhaust that area as well, to make sure that wasn't a clue that we were missing.
Lindsay Armstrong with Canadian Press. I'm wondering, I understand K9 unit have been involved. Have cadaver dogs been involved at this point?
I don't believe cadaver dives have been involved at this point yet.
Will they become involved? And I'd also like to circle back to Blair's question on survivability. If you could give a little bit more detail there about how you're making the equation of bringing in cadaver dogs and assessing survivability.
So cadaver dogs could be the next step in terms of part when we talk about scaling back. That could be another option that we now look at using. And getting back to that point, I mean, that decision was made based on a lot of factors. And if we thought they were alive right now, we'd still be out there.
Does that mean that no plans yet?
Not that I'm aware I can speak to of the cadaver dogs are coming or not. I can't speak to it.
Thank you. Is there a question here? No. Well, so George, do you two have something global? No. Okay.
I do.
Sure.
Hi.
Thank you.
I'm Lindsay Jones with the Globe and Mail. Wondering if you can clarify, we heard major crime has been involved since Sunday, is that correct?
Saturday morning.
Since Saturday, okay. So do you believe the children have met foul play?
Do you want to talk?
Again, I'm not going to comment on specifics of the investigation. We're going to continue on, and when we get to a point that we've got information that we're able to make any decisions that are able to be public, we'll let you know at that time. But right now, I'm not going to comment on specifics. So.
Okay, so, but you don't believe the children are alive anymore?
No, based on the experts and the review of the facts, the inclement weather, the time frames, and their age, the likelihood that they're alive right now is very low.
Okay, and can I just ask one more question about the scaling back of the search? Are you reducing the number of searchers out there, or is it being concentrated just with RCMP now, or how is that looking differently on the ground?
Yeah, absolutely. So the searchers will be finishing at the end of their operational period today, and now it'll come back to the Pictou District RCMP, and we'll make decisions and put in plans of how we move forward.
So rather than having the large presence here, the massive number of searchers on scene every day, searches will be based on information that comes in and specifics in order to make things pointed and specific to areas that are pinpointed or specific to a search need in the area. I believe we've gone through the group for questions at this point. So out of respect for the police officers here and the many searchers who are still there, I'd like to conclude our media availability today. Oh, sorry, is there one person with... Sorry, my apologies, sorry.
Alex Terrio, Stingray Radio. You mentioned they're circling back to find clues. You talked about the blueprint. Is there anything you're looking to find, expecting to find, or usually find in these situations?
We're looking for any type of clue, any information to help us out. And then we'll take that information and work forward from that.
Second follow-up, is the blueprint still involved in the search process, or was that deemed to be not relevant?
I can't say it's not relevant, but it was the search was exhausted in that area, okay. And we were not able to find any more clues or evidence in that area. Okay. So.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, can you clarify, you just said to the previous question that the ground search and rescue is being called, like the volunteers are being called off after today?
Yes, at the end of the operational period today, they will be done.
Can you see that in French?
À la fin de la session aujourd'hui, les équipes de sauvetage qui sont ici, leur opération sera finie à la fin de la journée aujourd'hui, le 7 mai. Merci. Again, out of respect for the search and rescue teams that continue to be on scene here and the police as well, we conclude this media availability today. And our thoughts do remain with Lily and Jack's loved ones at this difficult time. Alors que nous concluons ce point de presse aujourd'hui, nos pensées vont aux proches de Lily et Jack dans cette période difficile. Nous vous remercions de votre attention aujourd'hui. Merci.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Corporal McMahon, can you get, there's something going over with the felon of everybody's name?
Could I get your...
Yes.